Hello. I really can't say good morning. And that's because it's afternoon. Yes, we had something Rick and I needed to do today, something that, we were procrastinating in getting done, and we just had to go and get that done. And you know what that was? Taxes. Yeah, we had to go get that done this morning. So I am coming to you in the afternoon, and yes, I hope everybody's had a wonderful morning, and I hope that you have a great day. And yeah, you know what? The sun is shining, and even though there's probably about 10 inches of snow because yesterday it just kept snowing, got another like 3 or 4 inches, the sun is shining. And I am so grateful for this sunshine. But anyways, I don't know if any of you guys watched Homestead Tessie's last video. I think it was her last. It wasn't her last. It maybe was 2 or 3 videos ago. She was talking about pineapple meatballs. Well, my husband, he absolutely loves pineapple. And so I thought, you know what? I'm going to make these, but I doubled it. And so that's what you see behind me. Those are the pineapple meatballs, and they are very, very good. I doubled it because I wanted to freeze half of them so that we can have them for another meal, because it just makes it easier, especially because, Rick eats his supper at 10:30 in the morning, so it just makes it easier on me if I have pre-prepared food ready. So anyways, it was just 1 pound. Remember, I doubled this, so I made 2 pounds, but I'm not going to give you that. I'm just going to give you her recipe, which is 1 pound of ground beef, 1 egg, 3/4 of a cup of breadcrumbs, a half a cup of diced onion, a half a can of crushed pineapple, well drained, and a half a cup of brown sugar. And you just kind of mix that all through, and you bake it at 375 for about 20 minutes, she said. My meatballs, I made a little bit bigger, so mine took a little bit longer. But hey, it's all good, and yes, they are delicious. Anyways, I really think you're gonna really be blessed by our devotion today, and I really would love to hear your comments on what you think of it. It just really blessed my heart just doing this devotion. So anyways, we'll move on to that. Today, we are going to start in Matthew chapter 26, and we are going to be reading verses 6 through 8. Now, when Jesus was at Bethany in the house of Simon the leper, a woman came up to him with an alabaster flask of very expensive ointment, and she poured it on his head as he reclined at the table. And when the disciples saw it, they were indignant, saying, "Why this waste?" Now, just imagine what this must have been like for Mary, because she is carrying a full year's wages in the form of myrrh to pour over the head of her Lord. Now, remember, this is an entire year's worth of wages. So how would you feel walking through the streets where you are carrying a year's worth of wages? Do you think maybe she was feeling just a little bit nervous? What might she have been thinking about as she walked through that small village of Bethany over to Simon's home where Jesus was? What do you think was going on in her mind in those few minutes leading up to walking in that house? Perhaps she wondered if Jesus' disciples believed him when he had spoke of laying down his life. Maybe as she walked through the streets, she wondered what would they think when she poured this fragrance over Jesus' head. Could she maybe have been wondering if they will even understand what she's about to do? Was she maybe apprehensive on how they would react to her offering? Could Mary have been concerned about what the others may think? I don't know. However, if I'm honest and I put myself in her shoes, I know that these thoughts and questions would have been going through my mind. But then again, the story of Lazarus, her brother, who was dead and walked out of his tomb alive, perhaps this caused any uncertainties or reservations Mary might have had to leave her. And yet I have to believe that Mary wasn't all that much different from the rest of us. I'm sure she must have been working through some of the thoughts that are common to us all. Nevertheless, I do believe she had to have an amazing resolve and a firm belief that enabled her to put all her hope and all her fears, her everything, in the one she believed was worthy of it all. Mary had a purpose, a determination because Jesus was worth it. But how did she get there? And how can we? Well, a good place to start would be to remember the story of Luke chapter 10, where Mary was interacting with Jesus while he was spending time teaching in her and her sister Martha's home. Martha had gone to Jesus because she wanted her sister Mary to start helping. And Jesus said, "But one thing is necessary, and Mary has chosen the good portion." Perhaps this is when Mary began to feel her resolve in this one thing that Jesus was talking about. Do you remember what she chose? She chose to sit at his feet and to listen to his words. Here, the God of the universe had said to her, the one thing necessary, and Mary chose the good portion. Mary realized Jesus' worth because she had spent time with him. For we will never see the worth of Jesus without spending time with Jesus. This is the most precious thing we have. And without daily doing that one necessary thing, everything else in our lives creeps up as a way more necessary than it should be. And we would also do well to take note from these simple words. If you are like me, you may hear a voice chime in when it comes to setting aside real time to sit at his feet and listen to his words. A voice that says, "Why this waste?" Sound familiar? The same accusation the disciples hurled at Mary as she emptied all that she was worth on the one who she saw as worthy. Why this waste? We hear it from the old man within us. We hear it from our culture that tells us that if we don't accomplish certain things that our worth is in question. We hear it from the pit of hell, that there are so many other things that we could or should be doing today, and Jesus is not on that list. It's a deceitful voice. It can easily convince us that what we are doing is good and godly. And like Martha, concern ourselves with the more important things that need to be done before we give him our time. Sadly, some of the more important things we believe are worthy of our time are not. John Piper once said that he believes one of the greatest uses of Twitter and Facebook will be to prove at the last day that prayerlessness was not from lack of time. So let's stop and consider our own priorities with spending time with Jesus. For we need to make the place that Mary went a normal stop. We need to allow his steadfast love to be better than life. We, like Mary, need to sit at his feet and listen to his words. We need to return to that place day after day and behold his power and glory, and fall in love over and over again for the one who is worthy. So I have looked upon you in the sanctuary, beholding your power and glory, because your steadfast love is better than life. My lips will praise you, so I will bless you as long as I live. In your name I will lift up my hands. My soul will be satisfied, and my mouth will praise you with joyful lips, because he is worthy of it all. And I quoted from Psalms 63, verses 2 through 5. I pray that this has blessed you, that it has convicted you, and that it has opened up your eyes and your perspective on what is truly important. God bless, and I will talk to you in the next video.